In this video segment, we'll take a look at how to analyze the individual results once you've done all the scanning with the test. The real power of this program is you can drill down into specific learning objectives to find out how each student performed with individual learning objectives on a test, and you can pull up a variety of group as well as individual class reports for all of your ExamView tests. So we're going to take a look at a sample one here. Once you have your ExamView Test Manager file open, you'll notice in my example here I just have some sample kids, but this is actually data from a 6th grade class. And we can take a peek here and see these are individual assignments, and I'm going to take a look at the data from a Chapter 5 pretest. So to take a look at any test results or reports, make sure you go up to your report menu, and here are a variety of different reports that you can run within this ExamView Test Manager. We're going to start with a few of the basic ones. We'll go to the assignment results and choose by student. And then once this next screen comes up, there's a variety of criteria you can select from. So I'm going to choose the assignment to analyze. In this case, it's the Chapter 5 pretest that had learning objectives coded in them. I'll show you how to do that a little later, but for now we're just going to look at the results. And I'm going to pick an individual student that I know has some data to look at. So student 20, and as far as what data I'm going to look at, I'm going to choose learning objective. You don't have to choose that, but since this test had learning objectives in them, I'm going to look at them because this is really the power behind ExamView Test Manager, is looking at those results. So 3 things: what test do you want to use? You can choose an individual student, and then look at the learning objectives. So click OK. Up comes a report with the individual student results, the students' names at the top, but it has a breakdown of how they did on each individual question. This particular test had some short answer questions which the teacher would have to manually grade, but as far as the multiple choice, you can see it will indicate what question they got wrong and then the answer that they put on their bubble sheet. If you want to print these off, you can go up here to the print, and it'll ask you, do you want to print just this current student, or you can choose to print all students at once. Whatever option you choose, go ahead and click print, choose the printer that you want to send these documents to, and click OK. So that's pretty easy as far as printing, but this is actually a 2-page report. The first page just gives you a breakdown of the individual results, but if you scroll down, you'll see that you can take a look at a breakdown by learning objective. This teacher actually, in the ExamView test, for each question had indicated certain learning objectives, and you can manually put those in an ExamView. In this case, because they were in there, I can now take a look at how student, in this case, student 20, performed with each of these individual learning objectives. And so we can go over here, 75%. Questions 1, 2, 3, 4 dealt with that learning objective, and this student got 3 out of the 4. So you can take a look at those individual results, but there's also a neat little graphic here that illustrates how the student performed in relation to other students in the class. And so here we have an example of this gray shaded area here indicates the median for all of the students and how they achieved on the test. So this student performed just above everybody else. And if you have questions about how these individual results, what some of them mean and how to interpret these, they always have a little note down here at the bottom where you can go ahead and click and read how this particular report can be interpreted. So lesson 5.4, again, the student received a 75%. 70% of the kids achieved between 0 and 50%, and this student received a 75. So again, you can see in relation to other kids in the class, these little diamonds indicate how that individual student performed. So a real powerful report that you can drill down. If you use these learning objectives, you can really get after some other different kind of data that you normally wouldn't be able to view. And I'll talk a little bit more in a future video segment about how you can connect learning objectives within ExamView.